Okay, so today we're going to be talking and focusing on 5 things that are causing your hair to thin out, fall out, not grow as fast. And those 5 things that are causing it are aging, lifestyle, stress and hair care, diet, exercise. Those are the 5 things we're going to talk about that's causing your hair to not be as good as it was once when you were in your 20s and 30s. So one of the main things that really comes with aging is our body slowing down. Our body and organs start slowing down. We become less efficient extracting the nutrients and minerals and vitamins and everything else that our body needs to regenerate different parts of our body, the tissue, the skin, the eyes, the hair. These are all required building blocks. And one of the main things for hair is iron. So if you're deficient in iron and zinc and other minerals that you need to build your hair, the protein that goes into building your hair, that's going to make it more difficult for you to grow healthy hair. So diet is a big deal, and that comes in from the limited amount of nutrients your body is taking out of the food. So even if you're eating healthy food, so you say, oh, okay, well, I'm eating all organic, I'm eating avocados, I'm doing all the things I need to do, taking supplements. But if your body does not have the right enzymes to break that food down and pull it through your intestines and into your bloodstream and taking it to the areas of your body where it needs it, so it makes it difficult to have healthy hair as you get older, because now your body's less efficient. Just like a car or any machine, as it gets older, it's less efficient, uses more gas, more electricity, because things are getting weaker and older, so you have to make sure you maintain things. Blood circulation mean to your body or your scalp or your hair. As the poor circulation as you get older, and that comes from hardened arteries, that comes from plaque buildup in your blood vessels, in your veins through your system, that causes the nutrients to less likely flow up to the top, to the scalp, and that will cause tensioning and tightening of the scalp and the area, what they call the cushion around the hair follicles. And that will be a problem, because if you don't have the nutrients, again, the blood flow to those follicles, they start to, pretty much you're starving them. And we'll talk about other factors that impact that on top of the poor circulation and not getting the nutrients you need to that. The buildup of DHT. So I've been on this journey for 10 years. I've looked into hair loss, hair thinning, Googled it, watched YouTube videos. You see all kinds of information. Even doctors. So when I went to my skin doctor, my yearly visit, and I said, hey, my hair is getting thin. And she's like, well, yeah, that happens with age. I can give you Propecia. You want to do Propecia, that would help block DHT and improve the hair growth. Okay, I trust my doctor. So I went and got prescription. I started taking the Propecia, first the shedding phase, and then you're supposed to start growing hair, but you can't stop it. You have to keep taking Propecia for the rest of your life. And what Propecia is doing, and minoxidil and all those, either topical and you take internal, what they're doing is reducing the production of DHT, herbs. You can take herbs that stop the production or try to not convert DHT from testosterone to DHT. They don't last. And 2, they have bad side effects. I didn't like Propecia. You can Google it if you're a man, and you can see some of the people have some really bad stories about Propecia. Minoxidil really messed me up. I started having, you put it on your head, you lay in bed at night, it gets on your pillowcase, and you rub it into your eyes. I would wake up and my eyes were bloodshot. And I had other, dryness of the scalp, itching, felt uncomfortable. And I tried the foam ones. I tried some you buy online with high reviews, gold products or whatever. They don't last. You're putting a Band-Aid on the problem. You're not fixing the root cause. And imagine this, you go out and put a nail in your foot, and you go to the doctor. The doctor doesn't take the nail out, but they just give you painkillers and Band-Aids and some medication to put on top of it. It's not going to get better. The nail is still in your foot. So if you're not fixing the root cause by taking Band-Aids, and that's what the medical industry and people they're trying to sell you products, they don't tell you what the root cause. They just want to sell you stuff because that's that's a short fix. Take this pill, take this potion, take this, and that will make you grow hair like crazy. Not true. You got to fix the root cause and get back to basics. The DHT. The DHT is the bad guy. Not necessarily. DHT is in our body. I mean, since we are inside our, our mother's womb, trying to form the male testes and make us men, and all the things that you have from puberty to growing hair to making the sex. It's pretty much really the sex hormone that makes the male male. So if the DHT has been in our blood since we're babies and it's growing and helping us with puberty, why is it all of a sudden bad? And it's not bad. It's just getting trapped around the hair follicles, and we'll talk about that in the later steps of how to relieve that and get it back into the bloodstream. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the bad lifestyle. So we've all done them. I've done them. I'm guilty as charged. Bad habits. You know, life happens, right? You've heard that term. Life happens. Work, stress, school, pregnancy, kids, financial problems, all those things happen. And then what we do is we self-medicate. We start taking, drugs, antidepressants. We self-medicate with alcohol, painkillers, or whatever your medicine is. And that all lead to, damage to your system, your DNA system. So if you're smoking, there's a lot of toxin in smoke. Alcohol, drugs, they have a lot of chemicals. A lot of poison going into your body that's damaging your DNA and causing cell degradation. So the cells are copying into our body as we are a baby all the way till we get old. You watch those videos that shows like a time lapse of people aging, and you see we're just getting a worse copy of ourselves. So imagine you take a picture and you make a copy of it. You take the copy and make a copy of it. After you make 50, 100 copies, you look at the original picture and you look at your copy and you're like, wow, what happened, right? The quality just gets worse and worse and worse. So by living a bad lifestyle, by making bad choices, and trust me, I've done them myself. I drank alcohol. I used to smoke when I was young. I've done all that stuff, and not saying that you have to live a perfect life. What we're saying is that make sure you manage that and understand the risk that comes with bad choices, because they will all impact everything in your body, your brain, your health, your memory, your skin, tissue, muscles, everything. And hair is just no secret. Hair is part of that. And hair is really not an essential part of your body. So your body can shed hair and say, I don't care. I'm fixing other stuff. I'm making sure your heart is pumping, your kidneys are running, your liver, your muscles, hair and skin and whatever, your wrinkles, who cares, right? So you want to make sure that you have good, lifestyle and habits that help you prevent that. Okay, so now we're talking about the other factors that damage your hair. Chemicals, abuse. If you're doing bleaching, hair drying, ironing, putting a lot of harsh chemicals, make sure you pay attention what you're buying. Read the label. There's a lot of bad chemicals that will strip your scalp. It'll strip the film on your hair that protects your hair, keeps that shine and the glow, the luster. So pay attention. Don't get fooled by the Hollywood or the commercial, the marketing effort by companies. And you watch them on TV and they show a beautiful girl with nice long, hair, shiny, and she's fluffing into the camera, and then they show you this shampoo, this conditioner, and you're like, okay, this is what she used to look like this. In reality, she probably spent half a day in some salon somewhere getting all fluffed up, photoshopping, lighting, right? You know it. If you did, you're like, okay, really, that shampoo made her look like this. So don't fall for that marketing scam. Read the labels, go online, find good products that has good things in them to protect your hair. Okay, so now we're going to talk about diet. So obviously, there's a lot of things you can do. Diet is one of them. So you're doing external massages and things, whatnot, we'll talk about. But really the diet, if your body doesn't have the iron, the zinc, the proteins, if you don't have those in your system, because remember we talked about getting older, your body's less efficient to extract those. And if you're not eating them into your diet, if you're doing extreme diets, that's going to impact your hair growth and the quality of the hair growing on your head. Exercise. So if you're like me, when I was working out, I was hardcore. I did kickboxing classes, I did bodybuilding, I cycled 20, 30 miles a day. I did a restrictive diet. I was doing 1,800 calories a day. And I put my body through a lot of stress because I wanted to get hardcore. I wanted to get down to, single digit body fat. And I had goals. I was trying to be a fitness model. There's nothing wrong with that. But I didn't think about the damage that was causing my body. So if you are that person, if you're doing CrossFit, if you're pushing yourself, if you're running 4 hours a day, think about that. That's putting your body through a chronic stress, state. And when your body goes through that and you keep doing it over and over again, it's okay to do it once in a while. But if you make it a habit, if you make that a routine, your body starts to show fatigue, the chronic stress, that will result into a lot of things that damage your hair, including the diversion of all the nutrients, blood, and everything else away from. Remember we said that hair is not essential. You can live without hair, right? So your body is smart. Body survived for a long time by making smart decisions, by diverting nutrients and blood flow and shutting down other parts of the body that are not necessary. So excessive exercise is not helping your hair. Okay, so now we talked about chronic stress. What does chronic stress mean? And I'm gonna try to read this and I'm probably gonna butcher it. So chronic stress is called telogen effluvium. Telogen effluvium is when your body goes through such a shock that it'll start shedding all the hair. So you probably shed about maybe 50 to 70% of your hair. And that is normally experienced with people that go really through a traumatic experience, illness, pregnancy, harsh fatigue by constant and something that you do over and over again. Your body will shed the hair. So you'll lose about 70% of your hair and you'll have clumps. I've had people talk to me with their family members or friends and like, man, I'm taking a shower and just a bunch of hair is falling out. What is going on? And they freak out, go to the doctor, start putting a bunch of oils and topicals. You just have to go through that cycle. Just make sure you don't put your body through that stress. Don't put yourself
Now let's talk about the fun
stuff. How do you grow beautiful hair? See that? I just went like this and now I have a nice, hairdo. So really it goes back to those things we just talked about. Diet, hair care, supplement, medical procedures and actions that you can take to help combat hair loss and have a nice, full, luscious hair like mine right now. I dig it. And you dig it? All right. One of the things that I'm going to keep saying in this video is really blood flow to the scalp, right? We just talked about that. So what you want to focus on is the massages, right? So I'm going to take this off. All right, enough with the fun. So the massages that we talked about, right? So you want to do the massage, and I have a video that's on the channel that goes into detail about the massaging and what that helps with the blood flow and releasing the scalp and the cushion around the follicles to make sure that nutrients are flowing in there. The other thing you can do is microneedling. So I've done this in the beginning, but remember I talked about something you'd be able to sustain. If it's not sustainable, if it's unrealistic, if it's painful, if it's too harsh, just like fad diets and everything else, eventually you'll fall off the wagon, your will run out, and you quit. So you can use microneedling, and that's supposed to puncture holes, small holes, and that would signal your body that said, hey, there's damage happened to my scalp, send nutrients, send blood, right? I didn't like it because it was itching and it was painful, so, but it's up to you. This might be your thing. If it's your thing, then microneedle away. Supplements. You want to take supplements that help with the blood flow. And we'll talk about supplements here in a second. So it's all about blood flow. So again, taking herbs or other things that would help with your blood flow, it's always recommended. And of course, that blood flow helps carry nutrients and minerals and all the vitamins your body needs in your hair to this building block for the hair. The other factor that comes with that is the DHT buildup. Remember we talked about as the scalp tightens and shrinks, you have tensioning in your head. And again, that leads to headaches, pressure headaches. If you do that, that helps. And again, when the as you get older and your body, your hair follicle has to fight harder, work extra hard to build hair, it's going to demand testosterone. Well, guess what? What comes with the testosterone is DHT. DHT gets around the hair follicle and just gets stuck there. So now you're just choking that hair follicle even more. That slows down the hair follicle growth rate. And also it messes up your cycle. So when you shed your hair, your cycle to regrow the hair again, it goes longer. So what you want to do is, by doing the massages, the blood flow, taking supplements, or taking herbs that help with the blood flow, the massages, that helps carry that DHT back into the bloodstream and away from your hair follicles. Remember, we had DHT, we had plenty of hair when we were kids, right? I used to cut my hair like every 2 weeks. And thick, you can't even see my scalp. And then it slowly got thinner. Why? Again, body parts, organs, everything else slowing down, your heart pumping less blood, and you might have other condition, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and that helps, again, with hardened arteries and plaque buildup in your blood vessels, and that will limit the blood flow into certain areas of your body. So make sure you do this, and I keep repeating this, exercise and massage is a big deal. So now we talk about the balanced diet. Remember I told you earlier with my exercise and workout when I was cutting, I was doing an extreme diet. So make sure that your body is getting the right nutrients. If you're a vegan, if you're on keto, if you're zero carb or all carb or whatever, you are on, make sure you're getting the right nutrients in a healthy, balanced food with a lot of vegetables and a lot of natural foods, not factory produced foods, not a lot of processed, not high in sugar. Just make sure you get good balanced diet. And if you can't get that, then we'll talk about the supplements you need to offset that. I don't get the type of food I need to give me that balanced diet, so I have to take supplements. But all my supplements are natural and not man-made, factory-made, and we'll go through that here in a second. You want to have the right nutrients, the fatty acids, the proteins, the zinc, the iron, the B vitamin complex, which is a big deal. And I'll tell you here in a minute. Why is that important to that? So if you can't get a balanced diet, I recommend you do a multivitamin, good multivitamin, not the ones that are all cheapos. Make sure you want that has good ingredients in it. And also look at the ratios. Just because it shows it's got 100 things in it, they might be just like tiny portions that mean nothing. So you make sure you get the right ones. So vitamin D3, vitamin E, these are good for helping blocks for building hair. A and C, free radicals. So as you eat bad lifestyle, make bad choices, or you're just out in the environment, the pesticides and chemicals out that we eat in our food and the air that we're breathing, vitamin A and C helps you with fighting the free radicals. Free radical cause damage to the DNA and to the cell structure and the bond in between them. So you want to make sure that you get that in there to help with a good positive reproduction. B12 complex. I take B12 complex in the morning, and that helps. Make sure you get good quality B12 complex, and that has all the ratios, the right ratios, and you can Google that and you get all the details. The other things I take is niacin, which is vitamin B3. I take that as a time release because I don't know if you've taken niacin, it causes flushing. So if you're not hip to that, if you don't like it, I don't care for it. It just makes me itch. Matter of fact, I made a video about hair loss, and I noticed when I watched the video, I was itching and scratching and touching myself. That's because the niacin, I took it in the daytime and it was just making me all tingly. So what I do now is I take the time release and I take it when I go to bed. And I've noticed the results. If you're a male, you know what I'm talking about. The things happens at night, I start to see more of those. And why? Because that's the blood flow, relaxing and rushing of the blood to the organs of your body. So I give it really 2 thumbs up. The other one is biotin, which is vitamin B7. So biotin is critical to hair growth, nails. And one thing I noticed when I start taking biotin, and here's what I do, is I take it 3 times a day. And the biotin helped my nails become thicker, stronger. They grow really fast. I mean, I'm trimming my nails every two weeks. And I even had to upgrade my nail clipper because they were so thick and strong. which before that they were brittle, they were breaking, ripping. So again, biotin helps you with that. Make sure you take it through the day, because a lot of these supplements, their life is only 4 to 6 hours. So you don't take all your pills in the morning and expect them to last 24 hours. So spread them out, take smaller portions, take them out through the day, and that you make sure you have constant flow of those nutrients and minerals to feed your body. Okay, so the other one I do is collagen. And I do it off and on. So you want to make sure that you get hydrolyzed, good powder collagen. I put a scoop in my coffee in the morning, and that helps with the building block for the hair protein. So again, collagen helps with skin, wrinkles, anti-aging. It also helps in the building blocks for the hair. And then amino acids. So there's 9 essential amino acids. The 3 that we really need to focus on for hair growth are cysteine, arginine, and lysine. And those are really critical to the building blocks of the hair. And you can't get those, your body can't make them. You can't make those 9 essential amino acids. And I try to tell that to people. If you're eating a restrictive diet, or you're you don't touch meat, or you don't do whatever, no dairy, remember that your body can't make certain essential amino acids, that you have to you take them through food. And make sure the food you're taking has the right ratios that your body needs to have a healthy hair, healthy skin, and building blocks. So more details on the 3 essential amino acids, and they're a big deal. So cysteine provides hair cell, improving the strength, elasticity, and hair texture. The arginine supports the blood circulation around the hair follicles, and lysine supports the collagen. And remember, we talked about the collagen is a building block that goes into your hair. So make sure you have those in a healthy source, an abundant source. You get them every day to make sure that you're constantly, as you build in your hair and grow your hair, you get that, because our hair grows like, I think, half an inch per month, and I think 6 inches a year or something like that. And of course, there's different ratios. People have different growth rates. Okay, so we talked about excessive exercise being bad. Now we're talking about the good exercise. What does a good exercise do for your body? So that's really because of the blood circulation, right? You get your heart pumping, you get the blood rushing through your body. That creates more hormones and nutrients and everything else in your body to flow into areas such as the high part of your head. And so a healthy exercise, and I get it, you want to walk your dog or walk around the neighborhood, that's fine. And it depends, consult with your doctors really on the supplements, niacin and everything else. If you're under medication, please talk to your doctor before you take those supplements. I'm not a doctor. This is for entertainment, education, and also talking about what works for me. So when it comes to exercise, make sure you're not doing anything that's going to cause any health complications. So exercise, do cardio, get your blood pumping, and that would help again with the health growth, and it releases stress. So a healthy, consistent exercise reduces your stress, that will reduce tension, and that will relaxes, the blood vessels, and it'll get the blood to your hair. Okay, so the last topic, which is, medical procedures, medications or whatever, not medications. So the one I like is the stem cell. So this PRP, platelet-rich plasma. And that's where the doctor or clinic will take blood from you. They will put it into a centrifuge. They spin it and separate the plasma, the stem cell, away from the blood cells. And they take that and they would inject it in areas in your head where you start seeing the thinning or the weakening of the hair. It's also used in different joints for recovery and healing. It's used in cosmetic for the face to help, again, rejuvenate and push that stem cell in those areas to help them stay fresh and young. And something else they add to that is called A cell, which comes from an animal, a pig or whatever, and they extract it, strip it down to its base form, and they include that A cell. A cell is in our body. We create A cell, but as we get older, we need something external to go with the stem cell, the PRP, to help us with that growth. So I recommend, if you have the financial means and you got access to that, I use Groupon or search the internet, or for when I'm traveling on vacation, I try to find good deals. And there's good deals out there. If you go to a dermatologist or some of those high-priced doctors, you likely will pay $1,000 to $1,500 for one session, which is a lot. I found them as cheap as $300 a session with ACell. And I do recommend buying a package. Normally they sell them into like a 3-session, 5-session, and especially if you're starting out new and your hair is not, your follicles and everything has just kind of been really dormant or not active. So you buy that. They recommend you do it every 2 months to get that shock. After that, you do it maybe every 3 months, and then 6 months and a year. Get into the maintenance phase. The stem cell, PRP, and ACell or whatever, they don't last forever. It's not one and done. You have to do it, and I think they're only good for like 12 to 18 months, some 2 years. It depends on your metabolic rate and how quickly you break that stuff down. So I recommend it. I've seen good results. If you see right here, I'm actually growing hair on my forehead, right? I know I'm doing massages and I'm doing all the supplements I talked about, but I think the PRP with ACell has helped really big time. And I try to do it, like I said, every 3 months, 4 months. It's an investment that I want to do. I like to have nice, shiny hair. I like to have healthy growing hair. I'm cutting my hair right now about once every month, which is kind of like back to my old younger days, which I like, the growth rate and helps you with. Okay, and the last thing is obviously hair transplant. And that's a topic that some people, frown upon as, no, I'm not doing it, or I'm doing it. It really comes to you as a personal preference. How much does your hair mean to you? And so what I recommend is DHI, which is direct hair implant. I think it was developed by a clinic from a FUE process where they used to remove like a strip, or they move hair follicles out of the back of your head. And then the doctor or whatever will do incisions, and then they place them with tweezers into those incisions. I don't think that's an old method. I would definitely do the direct hair implant, which is, it's a designed needle that punctures the hair. So they go in, technicians will go in and just puncture a bunch of hairs on the back of your head and remove them. So you have tiny little holes. They take that whole thing and they put it in a needle. That needle will actually make the incision. So they puncture your scalp or your head, and they push that hair follicle in. So it makes a little puncture, puts it in, and it closes right around it. So very less damage, no scarring, healing is fast, no bleeding. So the things I've read about DHI is really good, very positive, and that helps with increasing the density, because you can focus on areas and make sure the hair follicles are going the right direction. If you go on YouTube and search hair transplants, you'll hear some crazy stories about hair growing in the wrong direction, multiple follicles in one hole, and it just looks funny. You can tell if the person had a transplant. And also the scarring in the back, because some of them will cut a whole strip and stitch it. So you got a scar on the back of your head. Who wants that? Again, if you want something natural, I recommend DHI. You can do it in the US, you can do it overseas. I know there's a lot happening in Turkey and Mexico and India, whatever. So do whatever's comfortable, do your research, and that helps you get that hair. But here's my advice to you. If you don't, remember we talked about the root cause of the problem. So if you're really not fixing the root cause, the blood flow and DHT buildup and nutrients and that new hair that you spent all that money on, some of these surgeries are $20,000, $30,000. If you do all that and you're not fixing the root of the problem, or the cause of the problem, those hairs will eventually dry out, shrink, and fall out. So make sure you make the right investment up front, and also the healing process. So if your scalp is loose, you got more blood flow, if you do the procedure, you're less likely to cover a lot faster and have a better success rate for the hair to take off. So that would be the recommendation. Start doing the massages at least a couple of months before you get there. 2, after you do the hair transplant and you let it recover, and it'll shed and the hair will fall out. And then when you're settling, I don't know, a few months after that, go out and start the stem cell. Some doctors will do the stem cell or PRP right as they're doing the implant, because the hair and the scalp is damaged, it's under stress. So that stem cell help them grow and be healthy. So it depends on your recovery rate and what you do. You could have a full hair and natural looking hair, obviously it's your hair, within 12 months. And that's the cycle. As they put it in, it sheds out, dies, go dormant, it comes back. So make sure you do those things to help with that growth. All right, so you want beautiful hair, you want to stop thinning hair, you want to stop losing your hair, you want to grow your hair fast, you want to have nice, long, luscious hair. This is all my hair. I love it. I love everything I've done. To recap this, I've been doing this for 10 years. I tried a lot of things. I didn't tell you about all the failed attempts and wasted money and time and energy. But in the end, I found a good solution, a good formula that works for me. You might be different. You have different genetics, different DNA. But if you do this, you'll hold on to the hair you have. You make it last longer. And yeah, aging, you will thin out and things will get old and whatever. But it's the quality of life, the length of life. It's the self-esteem. It's the confidence. Is when you look in the mirror and you smile because you like what you see. Not because you're shallow, not because you're superficial. No, we all want to look good. We all want to look healthy. We want to have a quality of life. And I said, like I said, those things you're doing, the healthy lifestyle, the supplements and all that, they're not just going to your hair and that's it. They're helping other areas, your skin, your vision, you know, your hair growth, your mental health. All those things go into the building blocks of everything else in your body. So you're doing your body good by taking these steps. So again, I'm going to recap. Blood flow, do the massages, do whatever you need to do to get that blood rushing up here. Diet, eat good, healthy diet, balanced diet. If you don't get that, make sure you put the supplements. Hair care, don't abuse your hair. Chemicals, stripping, ironing, all that stuff. Don't abuse it and then expect it to be perfect. You'll have damaged hair and it looks bad. So again, take care of your hair. The supplements we talked about, make sure you're getting either supplements or you're getting them through your food. As we get older, we're not as efficient to extract minerals and the things we need to go into our bloodstream to get to the body parts that to help with the building blocks. So make sure you take supplements to offset that. I take additional supplements beside the ones I mentioned. You know, I'll take garlic and ginger and peppermint and a few other things that are just all natural. I don't take chemicals. I don't take anything that's made in a factory. Medical procedures, PRP, A-cell, I definitely recommend that. I have the results. I'm not selling you anything. I'm telling you my true experience. I've done probably about maybe 5 to 7 sessions. I found 2 doctors, one in Chicago, one in Michigan, and others. You can look, you can find good ones. And I like the results. And of course, hair transplant, if you did damage, that's from testosterone replacement therapy that increases testosterone, increases DHI, and that builds up and it causes your hair follicle to choke. 2, if you've done things, it's bodybuilding. I know a lot of bodybuilders that I've known through my younger days with, you know, taking supplements, steroids, or whatever. That also causes hair loss. So make sure you do things moving forward to help reverse those and mitigate them, stress and everything else. So do whatever you have to do. If that's something you're really after to grow your hair and have nice, healthy, long, shiny hair, then those are the things that I recommend. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Ask questions. There's a lot of things that I've done. I've done, like I said, 10 years of stuff. And I'm not going to cover it all in this video. But if you have questions, hey, how did you do this? Or how did you do that? What about this or that? Do you use a laser helmet? Do you use a heat pad? Do you know, put that in the questions. 2, if you've done something that could help me and help others, please put that in the comments. What have you done? What are the things have you tried that you've seen good results? This is really meant to give back to the YouTube community. I've learned a lot from YouTube and I enjoy the content I get. So please look at the other videos, the massage video, the supplement videos, all those things to help you with your journey for hair growth and having beautiful, healthy hair. Thank you.